Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Thank you so much. Please sit down, have a seat. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. It is 10:35 a.m. on the East Coast, and today is November 30th. We're almost in December, guys. Christmas will be here before we know it. So, today's live, we're going to be talking about the Delphi case. Richard Allen, who is the man that has been charged and accused of killing Abby and Libby. That's been going on for 6 years now that this has been going on. And Bombshell released Probable Cause, which is very interesting. Um, and of course, probable cause is just that. This is the reason that led them. It's enough information that they put out uh, for an arrest and why he is the probable cause of this entire situation. Two young children, lives taken way too soon. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. If you guys would do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up button. It is a free way to help the channel, and it really does make a difference in getting these stories out. So I would really appreciate it if you guys would hit that. It just takes a quick X and just a thumbs up and rejoin the chat. You're good to go. So it's great to see everyone in here. Thank you. All right, so yeah, we're going to just get right to it and talk about this probable cause. We're going to read it and all of that. Also, later today, I will be live talking about um, the Idaho 4, the students that were tragically murdered in their sleep. A really hard case, and my heart goes out to the family, the parents, and the community. It's really uh, a really bad situation, to say the very least. Um, oh, Peaches, I live so close to this, and it has haunted me since it happened. I drove there through there on a trip one day. This is such a sad ordeal for these girls. Yeah, it's been 6 years. Their families waited so patiently, and they never gave up hope. They always believed that someone would be brought to justice, and I think we are on our way there finally. Finally. Um, this man worked at the one and the only pharmacy in Delphi. Very interesting. Um, and we're going on, I think, 17 days now in the Idaho case. Also tomorrow, I don't think that they have set a time yet, but we will be live covering the Michael Vaughn monkey, affectionately known as. There are releasing what they found at that house. Just literally a 4-minute walk from where Michael Vaughn's home was. So, oh my God, someone just, let me just check on that real quick. Um, Let me just check on that real quick. I want to just. You said it was Chatham. Please don't tell me. I don't want to go back to Chatham again. Chatham County School. Trying to find it. Make sure. Okay, there are no injuries and no shooting at Savannah High. Call came into dispatch this morning around 9, reported 6 people shot. Savannah Chatham County Schools says it's a hoax. For everything I have seen and heard, police scanners have handled the incident. Yes, news outlets confirming it was a hoax. Praise the Lord. Thank God. Thank God. There has been way too many to begin with. So I'd rather, a hoax is a lot better. Thank God. Okay, but thank you for, so that way, it is confirmed that this was, okay, they've done it for 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so that would be like 4 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock Eastern. Okay. I don't know, Crime Alive, but just as we see everywhere, there is sick people everywhere, every day. We deal with people on YouTube, and people do some really cruel stuff. All right, so let's start with this Delphi. We don't know if they have found Michael Vaughn's remains, but we will probably know tomorrow. They have kept a very, very tight to the vest. They really have, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I I personally feel like they found something, in my personal feeling, that is not a fact. I want to be very clear to that. And the reason I say that with my feeling is, you know, to me, if they didn't find anything, they would have, in my mind, my rationale, they would have just said, sorry, we didn't find anything. But they've waited, a week or two before they've going to have a press conference. And that makes me wonder, are they waiting for a confirmation? Are they waiting for something to come back from the lab to confirm? And, so they can handle this as it comes to them. Hello, Vet Girl, Mama Boss, Liz. Thank you, Kim, Pink, Natalie. Thank you all so much for joining me. Yes, guys, if y'all haven't hit that like button, yet, please do so. It is a great way to get it out there, um, get the story out. All right, let me pull up this affidavit, or this probable cause, rather. It is an affidavit still, but thank you, Tracy. Good morning. They have a massive law enforcement presence at Savannah High School was a hoax, and are many other hoaxes called in other counties reporting kids shot and teachers. Oh my God, Tracy. What's wrong with people? Listen, for people who want to see others in pain or discomfort, they have a real problem. A real problem. We should never take pleasure in someone else's pain or discomfort. It's wrong. It's very wrong. Wow. All right, so here is the affidavit. All right. And this is the state of Indiana uh, versus Richard M. Allen. And it says, I, the affidavit submitted and following in pursuit of sworn affidavit setting forth the facts and circumstances known to law enforcement of Carl County as the basis for probable cause to arrest without a warrant or to establish probable cause for the uh, issuance of an arrest warrant from above named defendant, that the facts and circumstances described below would be sufficient basis for a person of reasonable caution to believe that they assume that the accused has committed or attempted to commit the offense described, that if arrested without a warrant, such would be authorized under IC 353311. All right, so that is page number 1. So probable cause is, they have enough to believe that it's a reasonable fashion to believe you did it. It's not saying you're guilty, it's just reasonable suspicion is what it's called. Did I put the wrong one up? Let me find here. Okay. Still on the 13th. Make sure I got it. I keep getting the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. To Delphi on State Road 25 at around 2:10 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. He observed a purple PT Cruiser or a small SUV type vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. He stated it appeared as though it was backed in as to conceal the license plate of the vehicle. Both drew diagrams of where they saw the vehicle parked, with their diagram generally matched as to the area the vehicle was parked and the manner in which it was parked. So yeah, sometimes you see those suspicious vehicles, just the way they're parked in somewhere that they really shouldn't be, particularly trying to hide their license plate. Um, that definitely can raise suspicion. He described it possibly being a, quote, smart car. And there is some redactions in here. They don't have it in black, they just have it in like white out. So something redacted vehicle is seen leaving at 2:28 p.m. on the Hoosier uh, have store video. Investigator spoke with Redacted, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th, 2022, and observed a male subject walking west on the north side of 300 North away from the Monroe High Bridge. uh, Redacted again, advised that the male subject was wearing a blue collar jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. Um, this is February 13th, 2022. Is that right? I don't know. It's weird. Um, okay. Anyway, was wearing a blue collar jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from watching the video from the Hoosier have store that Redacted was traveling on CR 300 North at approximately 3:57 p.m. Through interviews, electronic data, photographs, and video from the Hoosier Have store, investigators determined that there were other people on the trail that day after 2:13 p.m. Those people were interviewed, and none of the individuals encountered the male subject referred above, witnessed by juvenile girls and redacted. Further, none of the individuals uh, witnessed victim one and victim two. Investigators reviewing prior tips encountered a tip narrative from the officer who interviewed Richard M. Allen for 2017. I think they got the year wrong here because it says February 13th, 2022. That is a typo in that, just an FYI, it appears. So there's this person, there's these witnesses, they see like this car backed in, kind of suspicious. And then someone sees this guy who is wearing, like a blue hoodie, and then he's got jeans on, very similar, if not the same. We would consider it to be Mr. Allen it's a reasonable suspicion. And he had blood on him and appeared that he had been in a fight. Um, so that's really disturbing. Um, The investigators' prior tips encountered a tip narrative from an officer who had interviewed Richard M. Allen in 2017. The narrative stated that Mr. Allen was on the trail between 13:30 and 15:30 hours. He parked at the Old Farm Bureau building and walked to the new Freedom Bridge. While at the Freedom Bridge, he saw three families. He noted one was taller and had brown or black hair. He did not remember description, nor did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the High Bridge. He did not see anybody, although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on his phone as he walked. He stated that there were vehicles parked at the High Bridge Trail, however, did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or video. His cell phone did not list an IMEI, but did have the following. Um, so that's interesting. Potential follow up on information. Who were the three girls walking on the area of the Freedom Bridge? So it appears that police had talked to uh, this Allen character, this Richard Allen. He was saying, it seems to me that he was putting himself in that position uh, to say, well, yeah, I walked the trail that day, but didn't see anything. Didn't see anything, right? So that's a very interesting thing. Yeah. Yeah, what app? That's a very good point, Vet Girl. Very good point. He was saying he was watching a stock app. To me, I bet you he was watching another app, and that is, what is that app called? Uh, I can't think of it. I keep wanting to say TikTok. It's not TikTok. What's it called? The kids use it these days. Smart. No. Help me out, people. Don't remember what it's called. Um, God, why can't I think of it? Snapchat. Snapchat. Thank you, leader. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I bet you rather than him watching the stock app, he was watching Snapchat. Snapchat with locator, yes. And you're kind of saying it, stock app and then Snapchat, they kind of sound similar too, right? I wonder if that was kind of planted in his head. He's like, no, I was watching, just if he could change the story around. So that's just interesting. Investigators believe Mr. Allen was referring to a former Child Protective Service building as there. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Where is my other two? Did I not? I didn't read the bottom part of this first part, guys. I apologize. Let's hear it. That on February 14th, 2017. Did I read it? No, I didn't. Okay. Victim 1 and victim 2 were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 miles northwest of the Monroe High Bridge in Carl County. Their bodies were located on the north side of the Deer Creek. At the time, the Monroe High Bridge Trail was approximately 1 mile gravel trail terminating at the Monroe High Bridge. The Monroe High Bridge is an abandoned railroad trestle, approximately 0.25 miles long, spanning the Deer Creek and Deer Creek Valley on the southeast end of the trail, approximately 7/10 of a mile northwest on the trail. From the northwestern edge of the Monroe High Bridge is the Freedom Bridge, which is a pedestrian bridge spanning State Road 25. Approximately 350 feet west of the Freedom Bridge was a former railroad overpass known as Old State Road 25, also known as County Road 300 North. The trail terminates just west of the former railroad overpass. The majority of the trail is a wooden area. It's very interesting, I tell you. Very, very interesting. I hope I don't have these out of order. All right. Okay, I read that one. Now, Wow, I didn't know about the Snapchat. Yes, the Snapchats. I think it. I think to me, Snapchat is such a kind of a scary app, in my opinion, especially for kids. I don't want my location turned on where people can see where I'm moving. That's just crazy, in my opinion. All right. Steep endemic on the side of the hill. All right. Photographs include a photo of the Monroe High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. and another one taken at 1:26 p.m. Guys, you have to remember, um, Richard Allen lived so close, so close. And to be quite honest with you, when I think of, and let's think of Michael Vaughn right now. The victim uh, w- was maybe allegedly could have been 4 minute walk away. That's a 4 minute walk away. And just like in the Delphi case here, sorry, uh, Mr. Uh, Mr. Allen here, he lived very close. And I go back to the Idaho 4. I'm thinking, damn, I wonder if it's someone very, very close. It makes you really wonder. Yeah, yeah. Snapchat just, yeah, Life 360. Exactly. That's a wonderful, wonderful app. That's what your alarm sounds like too. um, so let's get back. All right. Was taken at 1/26 uh, of the bench east of the Freedom Bridge, redacted, advised after she took the photos of the bench, they started walking back toward the Freedom Bridge. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photograph taken from the victim's second video. Holy moly. Holy moly. So someone saw Richard Allen, according to this probable cause. They saw someone who was wearing the same thing, had a blood on him, and but at the time they weren't thinking, you know, there's two kids laying down in the woods, dead, right? You're thinking, oh, he's been in a fight, maybe he's been hunting or something. You don't think someone's murdering someone, but it just that makes chills go up my spine. Describe the man from the victim's second video, victim two's video, rather. Now, remember, one of the girls had enough wherewithal in her mind to take a video. There's no way I could have done that. If I was like, I couldn't do that as an adult, to have enough wherewithal to start my phone to record this guy just in case, right? That is extraordinary. And to be quite honest with you, um, if it wasn't for that video, this case may never ever have been solved. Described the man encountered on the trail as wearing a blue or black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulder. She advised and said, quote, hi to the man, and that he said nothing back. Oh my God. She spoke to this guy and he said nothing back. Um, he didn't want his voice heard. Didn't want his voice heard. She stated he was walking with a purpose, like he knew where he was going. She stated he had his hands in his pocket and kept his head down. She advised she did not get a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across the Freedom Bridge and the old railroad bridge over Old State Road 25. Unbelievable. Wow. Investigators spoke with Redacted, who advised she was on the trail on February 13th, 2017. Video from the Hoosier, uh, is it Harv store captured Redacted vehicle traveling eastbound on eastbound at 1:46 p.m. Okay. Towards the entrance across from the Myers Mayor's Farm. Redacted advised she saw four juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was wearing underneath on her way to park. Redacted advised there was no other cars parked across from the mayor's farm when she parked. She advised she walked to the Monroe High Bridge and observed a male matching the one from the victim number two's video. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. She advised he was standing on the first platform of the Monroe High Bridge, approximately 50 feet from her. If that doesn't give you chills, if that doesn't give you chills, she's 50 feet from this evil, evil person. She advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately half between the bridge and the park area across from the mayor's farm, she passed two girls walking toward the Monroe High Bridge. Oh, wow. She advised she believed the girls were victim one and victim two. So this person, this is going to be a solid case, in my opinion. This person that they are not letting us know who saw Richard Allen and the girls, but she is saying that she saw Richard Allen on the bridge and she saw the girls. And, you know, it makes me wonder, does she have any, would she carry any sort of guilt? She was right there, just like I would wonder if you'd wonder, should I have, which no, you would never know that someone was going to do anything. But hindsight's always 20's 20. You would want to be like, if I would have just stood there, he would have probably walked away or left or something. So, yeah, that's crazy. All right. Video from the Hoosier Harv store shows at 1:49 p.m. a white car matching vehicle traveling away from the entrance across from the mayor's farm. Advised she finished her walk and saw no other adults other than the male on the bridge. So she saw nobody else. She only saw Richard Allen. Her vehicle is seen on Hoosier Have's store video at 2:14 p.m. leaving westbound from the trails. Redacted advised when she was leaving, she noted a vehicle was parked in an odd manner at the old Child Protective Service building. She said it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she noticed it wasn't odd because of the manner in which it was parked near the building, backed in near the building. Investigators received a tip from Redacted in which he stated he was on his way. Investigators received a tip from in which he stated he was on his way. I wonder if that means Richard Allen. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. One second. I'm missing a page here. Just give me 2 seconds to find it. Probable cause. I want to find the there's like lab results or something. I'm looking for okay, I got that one. I read that one. I read that one. Investigators who okay. There's that one. Okay. Here it is. This one's gonna be creepy. Okay. Okay. Oh, super chat. Thank you. Annie, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate your support. It means a lot to me, really. Thank you so much. All right. Now, this one says a steep embankment on the south side of the trail. The entirety of the trail and the location of the girls' bodies were and are located in Carroll County, Indiana. Uh, through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and a view of the video of the Hoosier Haven store, investigators believe victim 1 and victim 2 were dropped off across from the mayor's farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th, 2017 by Redacted. Now, I don't know why that's redacted because we know who dropped them off. So it was a family member. I'll just say that. The mayor's farm is located on the north side of the County Road 300 North, near the entrance of the trails. A video from victim's second phone shows that at 2:13, victim 1 and victim 2 encounters a male subject. All right, so 1:49 to 2:13. All right, so just 150, 20, 22, 23 minutes later, after they arrived at the bridge there, that is when their fate would start, the tragic fate. Man, that's tough. um, a video from the victim's phone shows at 2:13, victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monroe High Bridge. The male ordered the girls, quote, guys, down the hill, end quote, which we all have heard that recording so many times, and it sticks in our head because for so long the only thing we had was that the few um, the few slides of the guy on the bridge and the guys down the hill recording. No witnesses saw them after this time. No outing communication were found on victim two's phone after this time. All right. I'm going to put a trigger warning here because it's talking about, the victims' bodies and stuff. So, trigger warning. Their bodies were discovered on February 14th, 2017, on Valentine's Day. The video recovered from victim two's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monroe High Bridge while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. Ugh. Sorry. As the male subject approaches victim 1 and victim 2, one of the victims mentions gun. So Richard Allen apparently had a gun on him. So that may be why, these are young teenage kids. They would be scared and intimidated and frightened without a person having a gun. But with having a gun, that's exactly right, Peas in the Pod. Which, to me, by this affidavit, it makes me feel a lot better about what they have. It makes me feel a lot better. All right. Where was I? And one of the victims mentioned gun. Near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard telling the girls, quote, guys, down the hill, end quote. The girls then begin to proceed down the hill and the video ends. A still photograph taken from the video and the, quote, guys down the hill, end quote, audio was subsequently released to the public to assist investigators in identifying the male. Victim 1 and victim 2's death were ruled as homicides. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to victim 1 and victim 2 south of where their bodies were located. There was also a .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim number 2's body, between victim number 1 and victim number 2's body. So a .40 caliber, an unshot shell was found less than 2 feet away from their body. And, since they have this on recording of, Abby or Libby, one of the two, saying gun, and then they have this unspent shell 2 feet away from their deceased bodies, is good. That's a good rock, it's rock solid evidence. that it just weaves everything in together uh, better, you know. The round was unspent and had extraction marks on it. Now, every gun has a unique way, almost like a fingerprint, the way that it is shot, the way that the bullet ejects out of the the gun, and even when you're putting like your shell in, it will leave kind of like a mark on there. And what they're saying is um, that where am I? That the round had that was unspent had the extraction marks on it, and so they can probably get that unspent round and get um, Richard Allen's gun and identify it as being that it had been in that barrel or been in that gun. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles, redacted and redacted. They advised they were on the Monroe High Bridge Trail on February 13th, 2017. They advised that they were walking on the trail toward Freedom Bridge to go home when they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge toward the Monroe High Bridge. Redacted describes the male as, quote, kind of creepy, end quote. So, the day before that, the day before Abby and Libby were viciously murdered, on February 13th, there was 2 young girls walking the Monroe Bridge, and guess who walked past them? Richard Allen. Richard Allen. And these young girls, or I guess these young kids, I'll just say, said that he looked kind of creepy. Um, maybe he didn't have enough confidence to do it that day, Richard Allen. Um, maybe there was something about the victims that he, didn't think he could overpower them, or they wouldn't listen, or whatever. But the next day, because it's a known location for kids and even adults to hang out, but particularly kids. Bingo, Karen. Yes, he chose his prey. Bingo. It makes me nauseous. Ugh. So they described the male as, quote, kind of creepy, and advised he was wearing, quote, like blue jeans, a like really light blue jacket. He his hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face, end quote. She advised the jacket was a duck canvas type jacket. Redacted advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. Ugh, chills. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as, quote, not very tall, with a bigger build. She said he was not bigger than 5'10". Redacted advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pocket, showed investigators photography she took on her phone while she was on the trail that day. Wow. That's just crazy. Um, so he literally, mercilessly um, preyed upon these children. I want to show you something. Credit goes to Angela Ganto. Richard Allen wrote this before being taken into IDOC custody. In the letter to the court, Allen says he did not realize how expensive it would be to, quote, just talk to someone. He goes on to talk about how his wife has had to abandon their home and her job. We don't know what day he wrote this letter, but according to the envelope, it was on or before uh, November 4th. Richard Allen formally asked the court for a public defender, the man charged with the murder of Libby German and Abby Williams had previously stated he would not be hiring a private attorney. Or he would be hiring a private attorney, sorry. This was just filled out today. This is the entirety that anyone can see in my case. We are getting the physical document to see if it states anything else. Now, I'm going to show you guys the letter. So, Richard Allen has repeatedly asked for mercy from the judge. And in my opinion, he deserves no mercy at all, ever, 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 ever. Yeah, he won't have to worry about bills anymore. Now, I don't know how to feel about the wife, and I'll tell you why. Sorry. When I read it, like makes my mouth dry. I want to think that she didn't know or didn't suspect. But then again, I wonder if she got mad at him and then kind of went to the police, maybe, and kind of gave, some reassurance to the police that I think it could be my husband, right? But then I want to think she couldn't have possibly known, right? And if she didn't know, in all honesty, I hope that people leave her alone. She was innocent in this. Now, regardless, she didn't kill anybody. But if she knew her husband did this, everyone in Delphi knew about this case. Everyone in Delphi. In fact, Richard Allen gave photos. I can't remember if it was like graduating or no, it was for the I think it was for the funeral photos of Abby and Libby. They had got them developed at the CVS pharmacy, the only pharmacy in Delphi, Indiana, and Richard Allen had given them the photos. He takes two innocent kids' lives, but will give them photos. Good morning, SP. Thank you. So, that's very sick. Very sick. To Carroll Circuit Court for and those. This is his actual handwriting. This was filed November 9th, 2022. So, 20 days ago, 21 days ago. So. Reply, cause number 08 CO12210 MR1. Pardon me. In the case listed above, I, Richard M. Allen, hereby throw myself at the mercy of the court. No, thank you. Or just a hell no. How about that? Throw yourself to the mercy of the court? What? You killed 2 kids, in my opinion. You're an idiot. Throw yourself at the mercy of the court. You're going to have to throw yourself at the mercy of our Lord. I am begging to be provided with legal assistance in a public defender or whatever help is available. At my initial hearing on October 28th, 2022, I asked to find representation for myself. However, at the time, I had no clue how expensive it would be just to talk to someone. I also did not realize what my wife and I's immediate financial situation was going to be. We have both been forced to immediately abandon employment, myself due to incarceration, and my wife for her personal safety. She has had to abandon our house for uh, our house for her own safety. What little I can't make out what that word is. Something with there is will fail to even maintain the original I think it's residency. Again, I throw myself at the mercy of the court. Please provide me whatever assistance you may. Thank you for your time in this most urgent matter. Sincerely, Richard M. Allen. Sick asshat. If she knows something, she need. Camilla, listen. I agree. If you know something like a murder, and you don't report it, and you're married to that SOB, you need to go to jail too. You need to go to jail too. That's my opinion, but still, no way. No way, no how, not ever. Throw yourself at the mercy of the court. You know what, Richard Allen? You are disgusting. One second here, guys. Of course, there is a 6-year ad on here.
Court documents were just released in the Delphi murders case. Now, these were originally held back, of course, at the prosecutor's request. Well, now we are getting our first look at exactly why investigators charged Richard Allen with the murder and the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German. This is something we've been waiting for quite a while, the first insight into years of questions about exactly what happened to these young girls. Right now, we have all of the documents with us. We are digging through them right now. I'm actually here with our senior investigative reporter, Bob Siegel, who is digging through them as well. These are redacted documents. We should.
there was times that a lot of people really didn't think that there was going to be, that they were never going to find Richard Allen or whoever did this, right? But to be honest with you, the police kept it very close to the glove. And the thing is, guys, there may be an additional person that worked with Richard Allen to make all of this happen. You know what I mean? Um, you don't know. You just never know. We don't know if he was into child, pee or anything like that, right? So we're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait and see. But um, I can hear it. B2, yes, just, yeah. Um, a lot of us thought it was going to be Keegan Klein, which they're disgusting in there. Thank you so much, Jess. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, a lot of people thought, that Keegan Klein and them was going to do it. Could you think it was? There has to be, some sort of motive. I mean, I think so. Probably, yes. Probably. Yeah. Thank God she had that video. And they were so brave under extraordinary circumstances. That is well said. Truth sticks. Well said. Couldn't agree more.
Make that clear. The judge making that decision not to release all of them, but to definitely give us some clues as to what happened there.
Right. Since Richard Allen was first arrested more than a month ago, this is the document that everyone has been waiting to see. It is the probable cause affidavit. That type of document links a defendant to the alleged crime that police think that person committed. So this probable cause affidavit, again, it's essentially been sealed for the last month. And just a few minutes ago, we got word that the judge had decided that this was no longer to be sealed. So we have the document, and it does pretty much walk through why police believe Richard Allen is linked to the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German.
Yeah, and so this is 12 pages long, so it's kind of a lot to go through, even though there is some redacted information that the judge requested. But the first section, Bob, it looks like it kind of lays out the scene, talks about the geography, where Abby and Libby were that day, and kind of the timing of what happened the day.
It does. I'll read a little bit here from the probable cause affidavit. It talks about victim 1 and victim 2, which we are assuming with good cause would be Abby and Libby. They were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 of a mile northeast of the Monon High Bridge in Carroll County, and their bodies were located on the north side of the Deer Creek. So this is information that is very consistent with what we have heard before. And then from there, it really gets into who they talked to and some of the witnesses, and then why they think that Richard Allen is linked to these murders.
Yeah, it talks a little bit about Richard Allen and his wardrobe and the vehicle that police believe he was driving that day. And of course, we have been seeing the video and at least the images from Libby German's phone for years now of the man police say did this. And this seems to connect it, at least as far as police are concerned.
So there is his voice that we have heard before, the voice of the person who they've identified and think was the killer, saying down the hill. So what we see here now in the probable cause affidavit is it says a video from victim 2's phone shows that at 2:13 p.m., and this would have been on February 13th back in 2017, it says victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. The male ordered the girls, quote, guys, down the hill. And then it goes on to say that.
Do y'all remember them saying, don't look at the face, look at what the person is wearing, look at how he walks, his mannerism. And that is what makes me feel like the wife had to know. And when she heard the guys down the hill kind of thing. And It happened very close to their home. So that's what makes me think that, personally.
A male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans was behind her. And for the first time, we're getting information here. It says, as the male subject approaches victims 1 and 2, one of the victims mentions gun. So this is the first time that we're hearing word of a firearm involved here and that we have any evidence of that. And then it goes.
Yes, until now, we never knew that a gun was involved. We never knew that. One of the girls said gun. And just for her to, be suspicious and already have that camera rolling. And you can hear her say gun.
On some of the most interesting parts of this probable cause affidavit, then go on to talk about the gun involved. It says that investigators received prior tips encountering a tip narrative from an officer who actually interviewed Richard Allen all the way back in 2017. Back then, and I'm going to quote here from the probable cause affidavit, it says, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 13:30 and 15:30. So that's between 1:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon. He parked at the old Farm Bureau building and walked to the New Freedom Bridge. While at the New Freedom Bridge, he saw 3 females. He noted one was smaller and had brown or black hair. He did not remember description, nor did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the High Bridge. He did not see anyone, although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on his phone as he walked. He stated there were vehicles parked at the High Bridge trailhead, however, did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or video. And we then hear later that police here in this probable cause affidavit talked to some individuals who it seems like he described here that he passed walking in the woods, and they described a person who then has the clothing that is described in the probable cause affidavit and the police have released earlier.
Right. Police talk about 3
He looks scared, doesn't he? He looks scared. And I hope the hell he is. I hope the hell he is. Because you have no idea how much pain forever that this man put these families through, this community through, the world through, because we will never, ever get to have everything that Abby and Libby could only offer the world. Every single person has something they can offer to the world that is good if they want to. Oh, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. It's very kind, very generous of you. Thank you so much. It's very, very sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Navy Man. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will. Thank you so much for sending me something. That's very kind of you. But getting back to seriousness here, it is, these girls had their life ahead of them, and it was taken away. It was taken away, and their fathers will never get to walk them down the aisle, never get to see those grandkids. Very sad. Very, very sad. And I hope the hell he is scared. And I hope they don't give him any special confinement or anything like that. I pray to God that they don't. I hope he gets his ass beaten every day, to be quite honest. And I'm not sorry I said that.
juveniles, 3 young people that say they saw Richard Allen, or they saw a person there who then turns out to match the description of Richard Allen, walking on the trail toward Freedom Bridge. One of the girls, it says in the court documents, described to police the male as, quote, kind of creepy, and advised he was wearing blue jeans, a really light blue jacket. His hair was gray, maybe a little brown. He didn't show his face. She told police, according to court documents, that he was wearing a duck canvas type jacket, advised that she said hi to the man, but he just glared at them. He had something covering his mouth, she told investigators, and described him as being not very tall, not bigger than 5'10", said he had his hand in his pockets. And we see here, this is the video, that was the video that we saw for years. It did show a man wearing jeans, wearing a blue jacket with hands in his pockets.
Let's get into the part about the gun here and why police believe that there is a direct link between these murders and Richard Allen.
Yeah, this was kind of the most stunning part, I think.
So in the probable cause affidavit, it says there was a .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim 2's body. Between victim 1 and victim 2's bodies, the round was unspent and had extraction marks on it. So as we move a few pages further in the probable cause affidavit, they sent the ballistics off to the Indiana State Police Crime Lab. And see if I can find the section here. It says the laboratory determined the unspent round located within 2 feet of victim 2's body had been cycled through Richard M. Allen's Sig Sauer model P226.
So they are saying right there, that it has been, that bullet had been cycled through Richard Allen's gun. And the unspent bullet was found less than 2 feet. 2 feet from Abby and Libby. Ugh.
And the laboratory remarked an identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics. It gets into some of the details there. But the bottom line is, it goes on to say that Richard Allen spoke with investigators, stated that he never allowed anyone to use or borrow that particular firearm. When asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have an explanation of why the bullet was found between the bodies of the victims. And he again admitted he was on the trail, but he denied knowing victim 1 or victim 2 and denied any involvement in their murders. So the idea here that you have a bullet that was specifically matched to his gun found so close to the bodies, that certainly establishes what would be considered probable cause for why police decided they were charging Mr. Allen with 2 counts of murder.
And, you know, as we go through all of this, we also have to be mindful. This has got to be difficult for the girls' families. We're talking about details now that, granted, they...
So that goes to show you, when there is probable cause, that there has to be enough evidence to go to a judge and say, we have this right here, like for instance in the Delphi case, we have this uncycled bullet that matches Richard Allen's gun. So, you know, you think of that with Michael Vaughn's case, right? They have, they said they got a good tip and they went to a judge and they had enough probable cause to tear up that backyard, to go in that house, to tear up everything to look for Michael Vaughn. They had something so urgent, something so ironclad, if you will, that would give them enough probable cause, probable belief that this person has done this or is tied to this.
They have been waiting for, and so many community members have been waiting for. But this has to be difficult for the families to hear too, knowing what police allege happened that day.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been more than 5.5 years since what would be described as just absolutely unthinkable. These, 2 friends, walking onto the Monon High Bridge and, going out to spend a warm February afternoon, out in nature, and what happened from that. So again, so many questions over the last 5.5 years. This document, again, for the first time, gives the families and it gives the public some idea certainly more idea of what happened that day and specifically why they believe Richard Allen is linked to these murders.
And again, this is a 12-page document, and we were just kind of going through it as well. We'll have lots of information for you on WTHR.com and later on 13 News at 5. But Bob, seems like the takeaways here, at least what police are alleging as far as the connection for Richard Allen, they talk about the clothing he was wearing, the car he was driving, young people who were interviewed who kind of witnessed the car and a man matching that description, and then a description of a gun that he owned and admitted that no one else borrowed or used, and a bullet from that gun, police allege, was found near the girls' bodies that day.
Yeah, and one other important part, it says investigators believe Richard Allen was not seen on the trail after 2:13 p.m. that day because he was in the woods with victim 1 and victim 2. So again, they lay out, we just received this literally.
So they have witnesses that says that they saw a guy wearing the same clothing that they believe the suspect had with Abby, walking on the bridge with Abby and Libby, who they believed was the suspect and who did this. They had a gun that was cycled through Richard Allen's gun that was found less than 2 feet from Abby and Libby's deceased remains. And they also had a car, that the same type of car that Richard Allen was driving, that they saw down the road from where the bridge was. Now, also, not to mention that Richard Allen lived so close by the bridge there and where all of this happened. Oh, Mama Bear, email me if you want to ever talk about it. I would love to give some light on it if you want. It's up to you, obviously. But the wife was completely unaware of blood being on him and 2 missing teens. We don't know if she saw blood on him. We can't say that. She could have been at work. She could have been out of town. But my thing is, after all of this happened, after this video was released, after the audio of Down the Hill was released, how could she have not known, or at the very least, suspected that Richard Allen, her husband, was involved? And to beat it all, there is a video of, or not a video, rather, a photo of Richard Allen's daughter on that bridge. Oh, it's just crazy. So that's that. They said he broke the washer on purpose the day and sent her to the laundromat. Really? I did not hear that, Forever 23. That's interesting. They said he broke the washer on purpose that day and sent her to the laundromat. That is a very interesting. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. The photo makes me sick for that girl. I know. Obviously, the kid has nothing to do with it. I don't even think a kid that age could you even suspect or fathom that you're hold on 1 second, that your kid could even do something like this. It's beyond me. It really is. It's beyond me, to be quite honest with you. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something here. Sorry. Come on, guys. We have 555 currently watching and 254 likes. Come on, let's get those thumbs up. We need everyone to see, did this man have children? Yes, he has 1 daughter that I'm aware of. 1 daughter that I'm aware of. Those attorneys wanted the documents to go so bad. Well, they said, here you go, guys. Yes. Love you too, my dear. Thank you. Yeah, I think she had to know too. I think she had to know too. Love you too, Karen. Thank you. This should have been solved long ago. He was seen bloody and muddy. WTF. Yeah, I mean, it appears that he was seen bloody and muddy, but when did these people come forward as well? We don't know when they came forward. And also, they didn't see his face. And they make that clear in the affidavit that they never saw the Richard Allen's face. They just saw what he was wearing and the build, which was essentially what we saw on the video of him on the bridge, right? So, yes, very interesting. All right, let's get those thumbs up, guys. Come on, thumbs up. It's you just got to hit that little X and then hit the thumbs up and pop right back in. Let's see here. That 80s chick. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry, but how old were these girls? Abby and Libby, what were their ages? Abby and Libby, they were 13 and 14. 13 and 14 years old. I am just envisioning them sitting at a table with their own daughter laughing about safety after this. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, it is, I've been on here an hour and 21 minutes, a rather shorter live, but guess what? I am coming back. See, I've got an appointment. I am coming back in a little bit. We are going to be talking about the Idaho 4 that was tragically slaughtered. There's no other way to say it. And a lot of interesting things, but also very perplexing. You too, Zen girl. Hope your hairdo turns out good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you joining me. God bless each and every single one of you. I appreciate you more than you know. You could have chosen to be anywhere today, but you chose to be right here with me learning about these cases. And for that, I am grateful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the super chats and the cash apps. That's always thankful and helpful as well. Thank you to my mods, world class, world renowned, that's for certain. God bless each and every one of you. I will see you guys in just a couple hours. Bye-bye.